Hey folks, I want to talk to you a little bit about barn space and managing your barn space smartly. I've been approached by some people who have concerns about not having enough space to support horses at their facility. You don't need a lot of space to support horses. You just need to be smart with the space that you got. We don't have a lot of barn. We have a 40 by 72 size pole barn. And we have enough room in there to have an indoor round pen, store our tractor and some implement equipment, and hay storage for the winter, and a tack room, and plenty of stalls to support 10 horses and a couple of donkeys. So you don't need a lot of space. You just need to be smart with the space that you got. So let me give you a tour of our barn here at Painted Hilltop, and see if that helps you guys make a decision. So let's get going to the barn. Oh, there's Ike. Hey Ike, how you doing, buddy? This is our mudroom here. Got our water here. Put this here so you don't have to be filling it up all the time. Works real nice. So we got all of our weather gear here. It gets real cold out, so we got all of our gear here, hats and gloves and such. So you ready to go to the barn? All right, let's go to the barn. Come on, buddy. All right. Oh man, it's cold today. Actually, it's a little warmer today. I think it's about minus 6 right now. So it's a lot colder yesterday. Well, I'll show you a little bit what you can do with limited space. We got a barn here that's it's only 42 by 72 or 40 by 72. So show you what we do, give you guys an idea. We put our outdoor round pen out here. This is a 52 foot round pen that we do all of our training in. Here's our gelding barn lot. It's kind of a mess. Don't look at that. Alright folks, this is our tack room. This is kind of what I'm talking about, making the use of your space. It's not very large. It's only about 17 feet long by about 5.5 feet wide. But this is how we make use of the space here. We got everything we need here. Got all our tack. We got all of our saddles and saddle pads and head stalls, Makati reins, Bozels, training supplies. We got all of our, we have a chest here we keep with some tools. Doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Got a couple of whiteboards up here to keep things organized. And the other thing we have here is we got these cabinets that are mounted on the wall that make use of your wall space. That doesn't take up any room on the floor. So this is a good way to make use of your space. You can get these at any flea market, garage sale. We happen to get these at my old office. They happen to be selling them. But it's kind of nice. It keeps all of our medical supplies here and out of the way. All of our, horse bathing supplies and tools, towels, horse record books, blankets, things like that. The other thing I want to show you is something I did here. There's this old metal table was here on the property when we moved in a few years ago. And what I did is I put a piece of 3/4 OSB plywood on there. And I made a couple of flip-top lids here, so you can see here. And I screwed a couple of storage bins. Now you can get these storage bins at any hardware store, but you can see what I did is I went ahead and screwed them from the bottom of the OSB board, and it's a nice little storage spot for some grains and some of our beet pulp and alfalfa cubes and special minerals and stuff like that. So makes use of their space. The other thing we have underneath here, as you can see, we have some of our buckets and salt and stuff underneath, again, to make use of some of the space we have here. We also have a sink over here, not very large, but we use that in the summer months. Obviously, it's turned off during the colder months here. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space. We have this tied into our hydrant here. The hydrant also tees off and supplies the water to some of our water feeders on some of the stalls, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. The only other thing I want to show you that we have here is this over here. We have We got these intercom systems. We have one here in the tack room, in the barn, in the bedroom, living room, garage, in the house. They're wireless. They're kind of nice. You can get these at any Radio Shack. Best Buy probably has them too, but they're kind of nice in case someone's out here and they get into a jam with a horse, they get injured, or any kind of emergency. They're only a few steps away from calling help. So it also kind of nice when dinner's ready. So off to the barn. In here, this is our barn, and we got to split up. Half of it is a round pen. The other half is barn stalls. It is round. It doesn't look round, but it is. Right now, it's making use for our hay. So I kind of lose this round pen when in the winter months when we have hay in it. We do have a 52-foot round pen outside that we use for all our training in the warmer months. This round pen is small. It's about 35 feet in diameter. It's not very big, but it's actually the good size. It's a good size to use when you're training Mustangs. You want to have that proximity for your horses. So right now we have it full of hay. It was really full of hay, but we've been using it up since October. We have about 42 large 900-pound square bales, and we have about 600 or 700 small squares that we have. Hopefully it'll last us through May. But half of that hay, if not a little more, was cut and baled right here on our property using this Boomer Series 40-horse tractor with a loader on it. Love this tractor. I don't know what I'd do without it. Okay, over here we got all of our rakes and shovels, scrapers, and we keep these up against the wall, again, to save a little bit of storage, a little bit of space if you got a small barn. So we keep these up here. Works nicely. Here's our barn motto: patience, trust, respect. It's kind of what we live by here. All right, let me bring you in here. This is we call this the common area. Some people call it, barn aisles. We call it the common area because we actually use it as a run-in for our horses, for our mares. We keep our mares and our geldings separate. I'd love to keep them all together, but it's just not feasible right now. It's more natural to keep them all together as a herd, but that's another story. Anyway, this is a run-in. What we do is we take that gate over there and we just swing it over and chain it over to that stall over there. When the weather gets real bad, the mares will come in here and they have a place here to get out of the elements. The other horses, the geldings, are over on that side with the cameras looking at that right now. And what we do is we open up those outside stall doors, and they have run-ins to these 4 stalls over here, and that's their shelter. They also have an overhang, so that kind of keeps them out of the elements as well. Let me show you our stalls, what we've done here. These are 12 by 12 stalls. You can make them 12 by 10 or 10 by 10, but you want to make sure you have enough room in there where the horses are comfortable. A lot of people put their horses in stalls at night. We don't. We don't put our horses in stalls. Don't get me wrong. Our horses are spoiled, but we don't believe in putting them in a stall and babying them. They're not show horses. Obviously when the weather gets real bad, they have access to come into the stalls, but we don't bring them in. But if you do bring them in, you don't want to have 2 horses in a small stall. That's just bad news. Even though you might think they get along, you just don't want to do that. So let me show you what what we have in here. We have Bale & Country products here. I'm just a huge fan of them. They just have great products. We have Bale & Country feeders, buckets, hardware, latches, gates, corral panels. We're just a big fan of Bale & Country. We use their heavy-duty gates. They're just a great product. They're a little more expensive, but I just assume get the heavy-duty gate and don't have to worry about it. They don't bend. Horses can lean on them. They're just built really nice. The promotional, they call them promotional panel gates. So it's a lower gauge, like an 18 gauge panel. You see these here. They just get all bent up, and they don't last very long. But still a good product. The one other thing I wanted to show you, back to our stalls here, is we use 3/4 inch Loctite mats from Humane Manufacturing. Another great product. These mats are really nice. They make cleaning a lot easier. And I have an account with them, so if you're interested, I can get you a good deal, locally, of course. The other thing are the Plyco hardware that you see on all these stalls. I have an account with them if you guys are interested. Great product. It makes building these stalls fast, very economical, and they'll last a long time. They come in galvanized or powder-coated black, and they're another great product. The other thing I wanted to show you real quick is our watering system. These things work on a float. You can get them relatively cheap, 30 bucks. They work on a float, and you tie into a poly pipe. I would suggest getting the 150 psi poly pipe. Lasts longer. And we have a cutoff above each one, and they make a home run over to the tack room where the water supply is. All of our electrical is put up above the stall so the horses can't get to them and start messing around with them. We have one above each stall here. Right now we have night lights on them. Night lights, yeah, I know, we have night lights for horses. The other thing, we have a barn fan up here. That barn fan is great in the summer months. Our farrier really appreciates that because it gets hot here in August, even though it's -5 right now. The other thing I want to show you guys is our cameras. We have a camera here. It's a closed caption camera. There we go. We have IP cameras all over the property. This is a closed caption one. It lets you know what's going on with the horses. You know, late at night, if you're worried, you don't have to be coming out to the barn. You can just turn on your cameras. We also have these IP cameras that we can view from no matter where we are with our smartphones. The last thing I want to show you personally what we did here. We put cement down here. I put this down in the fall. Love the cement here. When the horses come in, they make a mess in here. Trust me, they make a mess. And we just take our scrapers and we scrape all the manure all the way down to the end of the barn here, put them in our muck buckets, and we're done lickety split. I was going to go ahead and put some mats down in here. A lot of people put mats down in their barn aisles and alleyways. You know, I really wanted to put mats down, and you know, my brother-in-law was up here this Thanksgiving, and he had mentioned, you know, geez, Rick, why spend the money on the mats? And I said, well, you know, I'm kind of worried about the horses' feet and their joints, you know, laying on the cement. So I kind of was going back and forth on it, and I contacted my vet and my farrier, and they both pretty much said that's nonsense, that with the limited amount of time on here, it's really not going to do that much damage on their joints. So I think I'm going to forego that and just keep the cement here, and so that's that. So I hope this helps, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a holler. I'll be chewing on my gloves. Here, I need those. No, it's not a fetch toy. All right. I wanted to show you guys one other thing here. Let me put this glove down so my dog don't get to it. It's a bunk feeder from Klein Pipe Structures. They're out of South Dakota. We looked around for a good hay feeder, something that keeps the hay off the ground, eliminate waste, and we settled on this product here. This is a 12-footer. I think it's the largest one they make. Anyway, you can put 2 large square bales. We have a couple of 900-pound square bales in there. Or 2 round bales, and as you can see, Katie here, you can see how this works. These panels on the sides, they collapse in on the hay, and it really eliminates a lot of waste. The other thing that is really nice about this, it's off the ground, so you don't have hay right on the ground. It's more comfortable for them to feed on, and we put a roof on here. You can see I put this roof up here to keep it dry, keep the horses' heads out of the rain while they're eating. Again, a little more comfortable for them. This panel here swings open. I'll show you here. This panel here swings open like this, and you can just take your tractor and drive your hay in here, lickety split. It's real nice. Like I said, we've seen a we've seen a almost 35 to 40% decrease in hay loss as opposed to putting the bales right on the ground. The horses don't stomp on it, they don't drive it into the ground, they don't piss on it. And any hay that falls right here below, they can get to it. It's not spread all over the place. So we're real happy with them. Again, this is Klein Pipe Structures. They're out of South Dakota. There's their number. It's a great product. So I just thought I'd share it with you guys.